Hi friends, a special welcome to the vagabonds, pagans, and trust fund babies. Welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a little rant about what doing overtime taught me about working 40 hours a week. I go over my experience, share insight from my own journey, then I zoom out and explore some of the social and cultural changes in people's relationship to work since the COVID-19 pandemic. Stay with me till the end to learn how these things are inspiring people to change and redefine their relationship with work and what the American dream and freedom mean to them. Alright, let's dive in. Full disclosure, I'm a Marxist at heart with capitalistic inclinations. I've been at my community mental health job for about a year now. I do social work. It's mostly a desk job, lots of typing, writing, and being on the computer. I love it and I'm grateful for it, but it's still a job. It can be very stressful, sedentary, and exhausting. Let me cut to the chase. Here are a few of the revelations that working overtime made me realize. So I recently went in on the weekend to catch up on notes. The first thing I realized was that, even without the distractions of a bustling office environment, I still felt tired around the 6 hour mark, with my energy peaking and dipping every hour or so. Mind you, I don't drink caffeine or anything to boost my energy. What I realized is that in corporate environments, or really any job that prioritizes productivity, caffeine or sheer willpower mixed with elevated stress levels are par for the course. They're adaptive in a lot of cases, helping us to cope with the demands of the job, but are obviously unhealthy on a human level. A healthy, low stress, stimulant free job requires mindfulness of your energy levels, taking regular breaks to walk around, stretch, eat, and socialize. It takes a lot of intentionality and effort, especially in a US work culture deeply rooted in a Protestant work ethic. On a good night's sleep with proper self care and nutrition, I still get tired around the 6 hour mark. That's not to say you should quit your job or that all jobs are exploitative. That's a whole different conversation. But I realized when working overtime that establishing healthy work habits requires energy, effort, and thought like anything else in life. I had this impression that when I was by myself in the office, I'd be able to hone in and focus for a full 8 hours straight. Not sure what I was thinking there. Bottom line, if you're young and in the working class like me, you're likely going to be working for a few more decades. This is a marathon, not a sprint. I've seen many coworkers drink 4 cups of coffee and smoke cigarettes every hour. While that may give them the energy needed to stay focused for longer periods of time, I think that approach goes against the premise of working to live rather than living to work. I was once talking to a mentor of mine, and we were discussing days where I feel unproductive at work. They gave me a good way of looking at my energy level each day. They likened it to a battery. If I give 100% of my energy to work, then it leaves me with very little energy to go about the rest of my day. Some days I can only give 50% energy. I need the other half for the dishes, cooking, and laundry. Shifting the conversation a bit. The 2018 book, Bullshit Jobs by David Graeber, explores the prevalence of meaningless jobs and their societal harm. Using compelling data, Graeber highlights that an overwhelming public sentiment suggests that most people feel their jobs serve no real-world purpose. He argues that over half of societal work is essentially pointless, a reality that becomes psychologically destructive when paired with a work ethic that ties labor to self-worth. The book provided validation for those who suspected their work was either useless or had minimal impact. It also challenged the traditional belief, particularly among boomers, that work is inherently virtuous. Then, when COVID-19 hit, mass unemployment and stimulus checks further exposed this reality. Many workers realized that society could still function even as millions stepped away from their jobs, proving that the government had the resources to support people working significantly less. Let me hit you with some data to strengthen this point. A 2017 Dutch study reported that 40% of global workers felt their jobs had little to no purpose. More recently, due to COVID-19, a record 4.5 million Americans quit their jobs in November 2021. This is the highest monthly total ever recorded at the time, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. According to a 2022 Pew Research Center study, the top reasons workers quit during the Great Resignation in 2021 to 2022 included 63% citing low pay and a lack of advancement opportunities, 57% feeling disrespected at work, and 35% seeking more meaningful work. The COVID-19 pandemic raised serious questions about job value and compensation. Many low-wage workers, like those in healthcare, grocery stores, and delivery services, were labeled essential, yet remained underpaid and overworked. At the same time, many highly paid corporate roles were revealed to be non-essential or easily put on hold. This exposed a major contradiction in how society rewards labor and sparked important conversations about fair wages and job necessity. The prevalence of remote jobs led some to question the amount of time wasted acting busy, doing useless meetings, or commuting to their jobs. People saw that part time remote work or some kind of online hustle could provide an alternative to the traditional 9 to 5. Two trends that occurred to me while thinking about this were the move towards van life and homesteading. Now, I don't know how common these two things actually are becoming, but idealization of these two ideas amongst my peers and online is something I've noticed in the past few years. It's hard to find data supporting this because I'm not sure who's researching that sort of thing, but some of the reasons for this trend include cost of living and housing crisis, a desire for simplicity and sustainability, remote work plus travel equaling digital nomadism, at least that's what it's being referred to, rejection of hustle culture, and social media influence. With wages not keeping up with inflation, the 1% growing, and the dissolution of the middle class thanks to oligarchs like Musk and Bezos, the social contract that once promised a house in retirement, think Social Security, and the ability to buy a house on a minimum wage job seem much less available nor attainable. Simply put, for many, working minimum wage is no longer worth what it gets you. I think homesteading represents a different kind of work, one that often includes an element of fantasy. This is reflected in the glamorization of farm life on social media, where being a rustic farmer, at one with nature and away from the hustle of city life, is romanticized. Being real, farming is hard work and can be physically taxing and isolating like any other form of labor. On the other hand, it does appeal to my sensibilities because you're directly reaping the benefits of your labor, bypassing the bourgeoisie, which today means the CEOs of companies like Walmart or Amazon. Van life, on the other hand, offers the freedom that homeownership and retirement once provided, and which today, stagnating wages and the high cost of living may deny many of. It's a Jack Kerouac-esque pursuit of adventure, purpose, meaning, and independence, all without the burden of rent. Amazingly, traveling this way offers the opportunity to experience these things, but it also comes at the cost of many comforts. This whole video is a stream of consciousness with some data sprinkled in, but I like to end these things off on a high note. I support people doing the homesteading thing and other trends that I've seen online, such as folks taking what's referred to as mini retirements, where they take a few months off every few years to travel and explore. Delaying trips, travel, and vacation into retirement means doing them when you may not have the energy or lust for life that you once had. As wages stagnated in the past 4 or 5 decades, the golden handcuffs appeal faded, leading more to pursue a fulfilling life as they see it. I'm inspired by folks choosing life over work, however that might look for them. Keep on keeping on, folks, and let me know below how you see people changing their relationships with work. Please check out a few of my other videos here. Could change your life.